Good evening. Happy Thursday. I'm delighted to be on tonight. Tonight, our business presentation, we're going to actually change it up a little bit tonight. I've got a very special guest on here that we're going to set up more like an interview, an exchange, a conversation. But let me introduce myself first. My name is Damon Baker, and I'm a proud father of two amazing boys, men, and I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired plumber by trade. I've been involved with this company for 8 years now, and was there at launch. And it's simple, and this is the way I describe it to people: is I provide solutions for people through evidence-based, customized nutrition, and it's backed by their own DNA, and it's focused. Their DNA is focused on their nutrition and their fitness genetics. We also have a consumable line that marries up nicely with those two, the DNA and the assessment. And we handle from issues from sleep to menopause, andropause guys, and weight loss and energy. And one of my all-time favorites, of course, is sleep. This little strip has helped me out a ton. And the other one I really like, of course, is the DNA report, because it's personalized to me. It's about my genetics, and it's really helped me in the last 2 months, actually, change me and help me. So with that said, I want to introduce my guest tonight, and he's become one of my best friends ever in this, in life and in this industry and in this company. I consider him not only a friend, but a mentor. His life experiences have been amazing, and I want him to share with us, because one thing that our products do is we help people find solutions for what's going on in their world. We don't claim to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure things. What we do is help the body when it needs support. So with that, I'm going to bring on Ty Toth. He's up in Annapolis, Maryland, and like I said, become one of my best friends. And so, Ty, I want you to come on if you don't mind, because I know you have a product testimony, a health testimony that you want to share. So if you can, take a few minutes and kind of walk us through your journey with the products of ID Life.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me on, Damon. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And you're right. Our friendship and our partnership here in business has grown tremendously. And my wife Holly and I are just so blessed to be a part of this. And I speak with folks often about it. And you hit on a couple of my favorites there, Damon, with DNA, with the sleep. I think back, and I've been very fortunate to be with this company from day one. Actually, prior to day one. Was really a part of launching the company, and what an honor that's been. But in these 8 years, and let's go back to the beginning, sleep was actually the very first product that was ever sampled to me. And I tried it. I'll be honest with you, I was skeptical, and I'm not really here to talk about sleep per se in terms of the product, but I was just blown away. I thought, I'm doing okay with my sleep. I had no idea that I wasn't sleeping long enough. I wasn't getting into a deep sleep. And what a game changer that was for me. And it is to this day. I love it. But, the biggest thing is, I remember Holly, my wife, had made a comment one time, and this is probably mid 40s. And I was 48 when we started the company, when the company launched. So 8 years ago. So obviously now the world knows that I'm 56 now. But I just figured that that's the way people feel at 48. I didn't know. We don't have anything to compare it to. All we know is what we know. We can't kind of morph into somebody else and truly understand how they feel and how different it is to how we feel. So, man, I tell you, I started on the products, namely ID Nutrition, which is absolutely our flagship and our core product. which based on DNA, and this is how it's grown, it's customized, as Damon said, already to your DNA. But when you put that together with our assessment that anybody in the world can take. Now, of course, we're only doing business in the United States right now, but that'll change in the future. And I have no doubt that's going to happen. But when you put those two together and you put the iDo Nutrition into your daily regimen, I remember I told Holly, and I said, you know what, if I feel something in 90 days, I'll be thrilled. I'll be ecstatic. And I started sleeping better. I had more energy. There are so many other benefits that personally I felt. Joint pain went away. And again, as Damon, you already said this, we don't treat, prevent, or cure disease. I don't know why I feel the need to repeat that. What it did for me is it filled in the gaps of the nutrition that was missing for me. And by doing that, it's enabled my body to be able to function at a much higher level, really plain and simple. And what that has meant to me is, I was out of shape. I was 20 pounds overweight. I wasn't working out. I was too busy for that. Well, now I work out 2 to 3 days a week. My weight and my waist size are the same as they were when I graduated high school. Actually, truthfully, I'm about 3 pounds lighter than when I graduated high school. And listen, this isn't a shot at anybody, but how many people can say that at 56? I mean, it's not the way it is in our country. So, and the best part about that though is not just me. I mean, and yes, that's my experience, and that's what I can share with everybody. But the most rewarding part, and the part I love the best, is the amount of other people that have had very similar stories, experiences, testimonials themselves. And for me to be able to share that and enable them to have that same experience in whatever that means for them has really been amazing, because I've seen the difference it's made for people. And honestly, that's what happens when you have real products that work, that have good, clean ingredients. And speaking of that, Damon, I know you're here to ask me questions, but I need to ask you a question. I know your history of business ownership. Obviously, we've gotten to know each other very, very well over these last 8 years. You've been a traditional business owner. I would love to have you share with folks, what do you see as the real difference between the type of business we have here, the type of opportunity, and the traditional businesses that you've owned and run in the past?
Well, I thank you for all that about your testimony and stuff and your journey. And yeah, I was in the traditional business world. At one time, I had 3 companies running at the same time. And I tell you what, when I started the first company, I was super excited to get into the game because I'm an entrepreneur and I just loved it. And I quickly realized how tightly I was woven into the economy. And so when 2007, 2008 came, it really affected business all around. And I was in the plumbing industry, trades industry. And Ty, that was the turning point for where my mind was and how I looked at traditional business. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with traditional business. If you're cut out for that world, good for you. For me, it was tough because I was raising kids. I was trying to keep a roof over their head. I was trying to keep roofs over everybody I employed, in their home and their family. And it got to the point where I lost passion for it quickly. And, I'm a praying guy, so I try to pray for something better. And lo and behold, on a Facebook post, a friend of mine posted about this, and I went, what is that? So I started doing some homework on the industry. And you and I both came from, the real world industries. Well, this industry has been around since 1932. I did some homework not too long ago, and it was during the Great Depression that our industry launched, network marketing. So I actually gave it a businessman's review. I wanted to see, is it a business? Is it real? And it was. I mean, it meets all the criteria. The difference between what we're doing now, what I'm doing is I get to really help people, not only on the customer side, which you discussed as far as your journey, but on the business side as well. And the cool thing is I am not successful unless I help other people be successful. And I never really had that with my company, especially the plumbing company. You know, if you think about it, I'm not going to let one of the plumbers take over my job as CEO. It's just that's not how they're set up. But in this world, what I absolutely love about this is somebody that I introduce this opportunity to, they can blast past me. I mean, they can just take it and run. And so that's what I fell in love with, Ty, is the fact that this industry has no ceiling. It has no prejudice. It has time freedom. That's something that I craved. When I got into this, I shut down my plumbing company the last day of 2014. I never missed my kids' practices. I never missed my kids' tournaments or competitions. You know, everything they did, Dad was there. I was not there prior to this. Since then, I'm an empty nester, so which you know, and my boys, they were like, "Go play, have fun, Dad." So I did this business has afforded me the opportunity. I took a 48 state trip in my Jeep, one solid trip, and I didn't have any time limit. I could have taken. I took 2 months, 59 days, but I didn't have a time limit. I was generating an income while I was traveling. And it's been priceless, Ty. And you know, you've been in the professional world for what, almost 30 years, you know, and turned entrepreneur, and you know, you got into this business. So if you don't mind taking a couple minutes for you, because I know you love this business. In fact, like I said earlier on the call, you mentor me, and I love that. So you came from what world, and how do you enjoy this?
Yeah, you know, man, I'm just sitting here enjoying hearing that journey for you, and yeah, and I'm definitely happy to share a little bit. And you know what, I got to tell you, your trip around the 48 contiguous states you took so many people on that journey with you. And I remember we talked about it a bunch. You know, there's nothing like, and listening to the incredible responsibility that you had, not just to you and your family, but to the other families that you employed, that you wouldn't have had a business without them out there, you know, doing what needed to be done, doing your work was hard as well, but so was theirs. And if you didn't have people that were ready, willing, and able to go do that hard work, you wouldn't have had a business. And I can't imagine that much pressure on your shoulders while all that's going on. But and again, the neat part was that exactly what you said. While you were on that entire trip, you didn't have to worry about whether or not somebody showed up to work. Did somebody get out to the job site? Did somebody go to the house? Did they miss? Is somebody out sick or anything like that? And what a cool thing to see you take that time and truly unplug and enjoy and share the joy of the trip. And man, that was just awesome to watch. So you sharing that brought back all those memories, and again, how we kind of went along with you. But yeah, so my background, yes, I've been in sales, I've been in management, I've run companies for other people and help them, you know, be successful. And of course, I was successful in the process. But so I saw that piece of it, and I've definitely seen it, but not from the perspective that the owner does. Pretty darn close to it, high level general manager, that kind of thing. So, but it's still different, you know, because it's not my name on the building. It's not my name on those checks. And while I love that and I enjoy it, and I love the challenge of it, there is nothing like this industry. You know, it's made such an incredible difference for us that we spent, or I spent much of my career in the mortgage industry. And, you know, just like you saw those issues in 07, 08, man, so did we. I mean, it just fell off a cliff. And while I was one of the fortunate ones who was able to weather much of that initial storm, I could see the handwriting on the wall. And yes, my income dropped dramatically over about a 2-year period. For many people, it dropped over a 2 to 3 month period. So I was fortunate, but boy, there was a lot of financial damage that was left behind with that. And I watched very good people lose everything. And I mean, everything, bankruptcy, foreclosures, everything. And we were very fortunate that we saw a slowdown coming, and we really prepared for it. So we did weather that. But man, I'm telling you, without going into too much detail, it has helped us. And when I say it, I mean, being a part of this business, being a part of ID Life has helped us to completely get rid of a tremendous amount of debt that we had personally. The bulk of it was credit card debt. I'm not even going to share that number on here because I'll be honest with you, it's kind of scary. And most people would just throw their hands up at it. And that's not directed at anybody, obviously, but it was a big number. And I will share that story at some point. But we're very close to finishing that. And again, it's because we've been able to create multiple streams of income. We've got, I guess, I don't know, 6 income streams between my wife and I. And I never thought that way until I was introduced to this industry. And what a game changer. When you change your thought process, everything changes, just like I changed my thought process with my health and my fitness. And the difference it's made for me has truly been life-changing. But to change my philosophy and my business thought process and my professional thought process and what's going to not only benefit my wife and I, and like you, we have 2 children, they're both grown and they're doing amazing, but what's going to enable us to really leave something behind of significance for them. And not only do that, and this is the key to this industry, and you really touched on it, is giving other people the ability, not only giving them the ability by sharing this with them, but by locking arms with them and walking side by side with them and helping them do the exact same thing for themselves and their families. That's when you're in a very rewarding career, really, for lack of a better term. So, but hey, listen, before we talked, excuse me, I know we promised that we were going to keep this to about 20 minutes or as close as possible. So I could go on forever, trust me. There's no limit to my passion for this industry and this business. But Damon, I want to turn it back over to you so you can wrap things up, and we'll keep our time commitment here.
Thanks again, Ty. Yeah, that's outstanding. And for those of you that have seen, ID Life and have talked to people that have gotten involved, you're going to see us keep growing and helping more and more people, both with health and with their finances. We're here to stay. We're excited. And if you want to learn more, please get with the person who invited you to watch this video. We're here to help you. And that's the coolest part of this industry is you have to help to grow. And that's the bottom line. Ty, thank you for being on tonight. And we look forward to watching you do even more. And stay warm in Maryland. I know I woke up here in Colorado and it was -3 degrees with snow. So we're having so much fun here. So you guys have a good night and we'll catch you next time.